Hey, what's up my friends? Today we are making a homemade blackening seasoning blend. Blackening is a powerful cooking technique that's simple to do, but it builds huge flavor into many different types of proteins or even vegetables. It's one of my favorite ways to cook, but really it all comes down to the most important thing, which is your blackening seasoning blend. This is my preferred blend that I've been using for years and years, so let me show you how to make it. All right, so let's make some homemade blackening seasoning. First thing though, blackening seasoning is sort of a mix cross between a Cajun seasoning blend and a Creole seasoning blend. Cajun tends to be simpler. Creole has quite a bit more seasonings to it. Mine's closer to a Creole seasoning blend just because I like a little bit more of the flavor. And you can actually use this interchangeably with a Creole blend. But first, let's go ahead and make the recipe and then we'll talk about blackening, which is a cooking technique that's different from other techniques. So to make your blackened seasoning blend, first we have paprika. I have 2 tablespoons of paprika. And you can use smoked paprika or a sweet or hot, whichever you prefer. And I have a tablespoon of cayenne for a nice level of heat. And a tablespoon of onion powder. And then we have a teaspoon of garlic, just granulated garlic or garlic powder is good. And a teaspoon of black pepper. And a teaspoon of salt, really salt to taste. And you can leave the salt out if you want to, if you're going to use it and add salt later. And next we have the herbs. So here I have a half teaspoon of dried basil, a half teaspoon of oregano, and a half teaspoon of dried thyme. And then we'll just go ahead and mix it all together like a regular seasoning blend. Just make sure it's all nicely well combined. This is one I use constantly in my kitchen. I use this Cajun like crazy. You have to make triple batches of Cajun. Creole too. It's kind of like some of my favorites. So once you have your blackened seasoning ready, you're basically ready to start blackening some food. So let's talk about blackening really quick. So blackening is actually a cooking technique where you take your food and you dip it or brush it with butter, melted butter, and then you heavily season it with a blackening seasoning blend like this one. We use kind of like a couple tablespoons usually, just a lot of it. And then you'll go ahead and sear it over very high heat. And what that does, it develops like a very flavorful telltale crust of blackened food, big flavor builder. And that's really a characteristic of blackened foods is that deep, flavorful crust. That actually works great for any types of proteins. You can even blacken vegetables. I have recipes actually on the website and even some on YouTube here for blackened salmon. It's one of my favorites, blackened salmon. I have blackened whitefish. Any blackened fish is great. Blackened shrimp. And blackened chicken. Blackened chicken is so delicious. Any cut of chicken. You can grill it, but it's so awesome in a cast iron pan. Huge flavor builder. All right, for storage, get yourself a good spice container here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it all in without making a mess. Please avoid being like me in that department. It's kind of hard to not make a mess in the kitchen. Ah, I'm spilling. All right. And I like to have a label made. Patty wrote this for me because once again, my handwriting is terrible. Like so. And blackening seasoning like this, it'll last a good 6 months kept in an airtight container in your cabinet. I like to use it within 3 months because anywhere between 3 and 6 months, it starts to lose some of its pungency. It's definitely still good for up to a year or even longer, to be honest. But it does start to lose a little bit of its strength and overall flavor depending on what ingredients, how old they were when you started with them. So blackening seasoning, my friends. I hope you guys love the recipe as much as I do. It's definitely a customizable recipe, so you can really change up the ratios pretty much however you want to. But this is my preferred blend that I've been using for years and years. So hey, if you're looking for some more amazing spicy recipes, boom and boom right here, stuff popping up for you. But hey, I'd love to hear what you think of the recipe in the comments below. And I'd love to hear what your favorite overall foods are to blacken. So, all right, I hope to see you in the kitchen next time. Mike from Chili Pepper Madness. Bye.